Hey, welcome to the Bourbon Burner series. I got a good one for you today. I know you've probably heard of beer cheese soup. Well, we're gonna make bourbon cheese soup. Now, caveat, before we start, there is no control. I have made something similar to this before, so I'm pretty sure it's gonna turn out well. I'm gonna put the recipe down below, but for the sake of time, let's get right to it. Hey, welcome back to the Bourbon Bounty Kitchen. We are going to make a cheese soup today. Potato cheese and bourbon with bacon. We're gonna have garlic and we're gonna have onion and we're gonna have, it's gonna be fantastic. So one thing about the holidays, this time of year in the fall, the weather starts to cool off a little bit. You wanna warm up, and what better way to do it than to warm the core with some hot cider soups, things like that. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. I have my pot. This is a Dutch oven. It's cast iron. I love cooking in a big cast iron pot. It heats very evenly. I've had the burner on now for just about a minute. So, because it takes a little bit longer for these things to heat up and for the heat to get through. But I'm gonna go ahead and throw my bacon in. So this is 3 slices of chopped up bacon. I just cut it in cubes or squares. And I'm gonna go ahead and dump this in. We're gonna save this butter for a little bit. It doesn't go in quite yet. It's off there. Now, grab a spatula so we can give this a little stir around. And I can see, I mean, I can't hear them talking yet, but I can see them sweating out already at the bottom. Now, once these cast iron skillets get up to temp, you have to really control your temp on here, because if you let it get out of hand and get too hot, it takes a while for it to cool back off again. So you have to be mindful of that. We're gonna let this bacon cook down just a little bit, and then we're gonna add our onion to it. All right, my bacon is about half fried, soft fried, not too, there's no browning, no crispy edges. I wanna kinda keep that a little soft. Now I'm gonna throw in my onion, and it's just gonna cook for just a little bit in that bacon grease. This is a whole white onion, coarsely chopped up. So that's, if you use a large onion, I don't know, just eyeball it. A medium white onion, chopped up. Now I'm gonna toss this, make sure the onion gets really coated in that bacon fat. And I'm gonna let these soften. All right, these onions are starting to soften just a little bit. I'm cheating today. I have a minced garlic in the jar. I'm just gonna put in equal to about 2 cloves, which is about 2 little half teaspoons, you know, about a teaspoon. That ought to do it. You don't want to put your garlic in too fast, because garlic tends to burn. So I waited until the onions got a little soft. But we're going to let this mingle just a little bit. And with this, I'm going to add my thyme and dry mustard. All right, that's and the recipe's down below as always. All right, these flavors are really starting to come out, or the aromas, I mean, and I know the flavors in there are getting to mingling. Right now, what I'm gonna do is throw in my butter, and I'm gonna stir this around just a little bit. Get this butter melting down. This is gonna add a rich base to it. All right, that's really mingling well. At this point, I'm gonna add a half cup of bourbon to this. And what I'm gonna do is leave the temp on medium high right now. And I'm gonna pour my bourbon in. Wow, that smells so good. And we're gonna let this simmer and cook off some of the alcohol. But we also wanna kind of reduce it just a little bit. Reduction helps intensify the flavors. All right, while this is continuing to reduce, I'm going to go ahead and add some salt at this point because I know it's gonna need it. I like salting a little bit along the way. Even though the bacon's in there, we're about to add a lot of substance to this soup, and it's gonna need more salt. All right, putting a little pepper in. All right, I've got this reduced down to about half. So what I'm gonna do now is put in 2 cups of water. And I'm gonna reduce my heat to medium, just below medium for now, so that they can come back up to a boil. I have potatoes here in water so they wouldn't turn gray, and I'm gonna get those strained off, and then I'm gonna add them to the pot. All right, I have the water drained off my potatoes. This is starting to steam just a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this back up. I'm gonna turn it down, but I need this to come back up a little because these are cold potatoes. So I'm gonna turn it up just a little bit until it starts to simmer. Then I'll turn it back down again. Now these are small cube potatoes. You can see just about the size of my pinky finger in little cubes. You want them like that because they're gonna create a base for the soup, a thickening base. So I'm gonna get these stirred in. All right, and like I said, this is cooking is an art like this more than a science. I'm gonna need to add a little more water because it's not covering my potatoes. It just depends. You need 4 large potatoes in here, 4 medium to large potatoes, and you know, I just have a lot of potato there, and I did a good job peeling. I didn't lose a lot of potato in the peel, but let me get some more water. All right, I added just about another cup of water, maybe a cup and a quarter, and I just got them covered up with the water. We're gonna let this sit here and cook. As soon as I see it start to simmer, I'm gonna turn the burner down to a low temp and cover it and let them simmer till the potatoes are soft enough to kind of mash in there. And they're gonna create a thick base for this cheese soup that's gonna be amazing. So I'll meet you back here in a little while. All right, these potatoes have been going about 40-45 minutes now. I'm sure they're pretty soft in there. So what I'm gonna do now, and this is just a low simmer. I have it set on my stove at a 3. I'm gonna go ahead and give them a mash. Not all of them, just about half of them. Just mash them around. Remember, art, not a science. All right, I've got them mashed around. A few little cubes left in there. No big deal. So now I'm gonna set this lid over to the side, and we're gonna get the cheese and we're gonna fold it in. All right, what I have here is a good sharp cheddar. This came in a block, grated it myself, so there's no cornstarch. So when you buy cheese already grated, it has cornstarch, so it doesn't stick together. So I'm gonna add this a little at a time here. About half of it. Now I'm gonna get to stir this in. right, that cheese is all constituted. It's all part of the soup now. I'm gonna let this, I'm gonna bring the temp back up a little to medium, and we're gonna leave the lid off this thing, and I'm gonna put some cream in it here in just a little bit. All right, before I add my cream, I'm gonna give her a taste and see if I need any salt or pepper or any other spices. Woohoo! It does need some salt. I'll try to be careful because I put a lot of bacon in there and it's salty. So, boy, that is so good. All right, we got our salt. I'm adding a little extra salt because when I put the cream in, it will water it down just a little. All right. And while I'm at it, I'm gonna also add a little more pepper. I love fresh pepper and stuff, fresh cracked pepper. There we go. All right, what I have here is whipping cream. Doesn't matter, you can use heavy cream. If you want to cut back a little, you can use half and half, or I wouldn't use milk, but the fat-free half and half if you want to save on calories. But this is winter, we're putting on our winter coats. So I'm gonna put about half of this in. We're gonna stir this up and see what we have. Oh yeah. That'll blonde her up there just a little bit from that yellow cheddar. All right, I'm gonna give her one last taste here and see if I need to make any final minute adjustments. Oh, wow. That is good. All right, so with that, got some on my hand. I'm going to dish this up and I will, okay, I'm gonna top it first. I'm gonna top it with a little extra cheddar cheese, crushed up bacon, which I fried during, while this was, the potatoes were cooking, crispy fried bacon, and a few chives. And then I'll meet you in the studio and we'll give her a taste. All right, got you backed up just a little bit so you can get everything in frame without having to worry about the VR180 moving things around. But what I've got here is a fantastic bourbon, potato, cheese, bacon soup, onion too. When I finished it, I just topped it with a little more cheddar cheese, some crumbled crispy bacon, and some chives. And it's just beautiful. And it'll warm you up, I'll tell you that. Now I did taste some of it in there. Again, we don't have a control today because I'm not gonna make 2 pots of soup, but this stuff is fantastic. I can tell you that already. Oh, that sharp cheddar, that bourbon, the bacon flavor with the onion, and those coarse mashed potatoes in there. Man, this is a fall delight right here. Come in after working outside, have a chill, grab a bowl of this. Man, spot on. All these flavors complement. Now I know we talked about beer cheese soup. This is bourbon cheese soup, recipe down below. Do not miss out on this. This is fantastic. All right, so with that, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. As always, please like and subscribe. Hit the bell down there for notifications, and I promise I'll keep making you these videos.